Before we jump into it, don't forget I stream once a month on Whatnot, #sponsored. I'm streaming again next Thursday on the 30th, and I'm actually selling a Portal 3 Kingdoms booster, bidding starting at £1. So come along, win it, we'll crack it on stream, and I'll post out everything that's inside of it. Hopefully you open an Imperial Seal, and I can lick it for you. Full March of the Machine previews start on March 29th, and we had Elspeth get revealed yesterday, while Perpetual Hype is in full swing, as a story article today gives us another Planeswalker. We've got Wrenn and 8, the third iteration of the Modern Horizons introduced Wrenn and 6, or Wrenn, a dryad that combines herself with trees on each of the planes to move around using a wooden tree living mech suit kind of thing. It's a cool design. But where we had Wrenn and 6 and Wrenn and 7, because she names them by number, we now have a named combo, Wrenn and Realmbreaker, which is a cool little motif because it is also the set, don't forget, this is the set where like Thalia and Gitrog get their own card together as well. So we have the combination of Realmbreaker and Wrenn on a card. I think that's cool. A 3-mana legendary Planeswalker Wrenn. Lands you control have tapped, add 1 mana of any colour. So it's got the Dryad of Elysian Groves, the Chromatic Lantern passive, as well as 3 abilities. She comes in at 4 loyalty, she upticks for 1 loyalty, up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance, hexproof and haste until your next turn. It's still a land. So it's that already established space of a green Planeswalker turning a land into a creature to attack with. And it's until next turn, so it doesn't permanently stay that way, and there's no counters involved. The other thing to know here is that it doesn't untap it. So this is not ramp, like we often see in this style with Nissa and similar. This is not ramp. Her -2 mills 3 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. So it's a card advantage engine. If you're playing enough lands, there's a good chance among lands and creatures, artifacts and enchantments and so on, you hit at least one other permanent. You're often than not, they're going to be drawing a land. Bearing in mind, you have to take a permanent from the cards that are milled, so the top 3 cards of your deck, not from things that are already in the graveyard. It's not that powerful of a recursion ability. And then her -7, you get an emblem with you may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard, which is very, very strong. Of course, we don't judge her on the emblem, we judge her on how well she can defend herself. She just upticked to create a body to protect herself, going up to 5 loyalty and making a 3/3. That is hexproof, I might add. That's an interesting point here. It's rare that we see a Planeswalker make a creature that's so well protected from being removed, because normally you'd uptick a Planeswalker, make a body, and if your opponent has a body on board already, they untap, kill the thing you've made, attack your Planeswalker, and you feel sad. In this case, the land that Wrenn makes is now hexproof until next turn. It also has haste, which is just to stop you from accidentally doing it on a land that's coming to play this turn and it now can't attack. The hexproof is pretty big. It allows it to basically be protected from removal and thus be absolutely guaranteed, or I say absolutely, very closely guaranteed. I mean, there is still like Shoulder's Edict running around and stuff like that, but it's almost guaranteed to be around to be able to block and keep Wrenn and Realmbreaker able to take up or take down next turn. At 4 loyalty, she does down tick twice before dying, giving you an interesting little card advantage spell at 3 mana. 3 mana Planeswalkers are a lot stronger, or should I say, you expect a lot less from them, so their abilities being reasonable end up being more than reasonable when they're strapped to a body that comes down on turn 3 and can like get 2 or 3 of these effects off before it dies. I don't think this is that good. I've seen people going on about how strong this is on Twitter, and I don't quite see it. I think it's a reasonable Magic card, and I'm sure you'll see some play in Standard, and maybe other formats too. But I don't think it's that powerful. And I think that's kind of fascinating, really, if we look at it from a thematic standpoint. This is Wrenn and Realmbreaker. This is a Planeswalker Dryad attaching herself to the corrupted world tree, the center of Kaldheim. A force so powerful it can rupture rifts in space and time. Well, not time, more just space. Rupture rifts in space to allow the movement between realms, between planes. This is the powerful, sentient space magic artifact that is helping the Phyrexians invade other planes. Here we see a Planeswalker meld with it, combine with it. And in the story, there's story spoilers for what was revealed today, we see her meld with it after great sacrifice. The Mirrans are really sacrificed many a person to get her there. This beautiful piece of art by Jason Rainville here is like a Renaissance painting. Might be one of my favourite pieces of art I've seen in a long time on a Magic card. It is gorgeous. I'm a sucker for non-metallic metals, am I right? But they go out of their way to get her there. She combines with it. She goes through this metaphysical epiphany, and then she controls it. She finds the semblance of the original world tree deep within the Phyrexianized realm tree itself. Deep within the Phyrexian Realmbreaker, should I say. And then she uses that to transcend the planes looking for Teferi. And she finds him. He's mustered an army over time on Zalfnir. And she asks him to come to aid, and she opens a huge portal, perhaps her own personal sacrifice that will kill her. But all of this doesn't really translate to the card. I said this about Elspeth as well, being this like end boss returning hero, Elspeth herself, but empowered with the powers of a godlike planeswalker like Sarah, or at least the Force ghost of Sarah, and angel-like abilities, and then she's perhaps a marginally better Knight Errant, or perhaps worse actually. In my video about Knight Errant and the new Elspeth Archangel, I mentioned how I think it's a power crept Knight Errant, but actually the -2 is not a +1. So, oh, that's an obvious statement. But what I mean by that is, oh, Knight Errant needs to always tick up and up and up. The new one doesn't. Anyway, that's a correction for yesterday's video. Either way, angelic empowered, like, you know, fucking godlike planeswalker on one hand, and then we've got Wrenn, a planeswalker connected to the fucking Realmbreaker, and then they just do these things that we've seen before. They do these things that are really unexciting. A 3-mana planeswalker fixing all your mana is kind of good, I guess. It's kind of like Chromatic Lantern, although in a commander context she's going to get killed more often than Chromatic Lantern would. I just think it's really weird that the penultimate, the thing that creates a portal to another fucking dimension to allow Teferi and his armed forces to come to the aid of the failing Mirren rebels, it doesn't even do anything like that. Like, what does the downtick do here? What does the uptick do here? It does all these things that are very stereotypically green, very powerful, I say powerful, very middle-of-the-road, solid green abilities, but it's absolutely nothing like the story article. And that's not me, like, being angry. I'm not like, let's go and storm WotC HQ and demand that Wrenn and the Realmbreaker allows us to put, like, fatties from our hand into play. It needs to be a sneak attack. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's fucking weird that both of the super duper powerful planeswalkers end up being kind of lackluster in how they look. I guess I might have said this about Sheoldred as well. I think I undervalued Sheoldred upon reveal, thinking it was just a very middling, strong but not overly powerful mid-range creature, and now it turns out it's probably one of the better 4-mana mid-range creatures we've seen in a very long time. So maybe both these planeswalkers are absolutely cracked, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just think they don't really depict the powerful, dramatic things we're reading in the story. They feel kind of like, I don't know, vanilla, I guess. They aren't wet farts. They aren't weak. They aren't even mid, I'd say. I'd say they're both reasonable Magic cards. They just don't have that oomph. They don't have that wazazz. Is that a word? They don't have that pizzazz. That's probably the word I'm looking for. They don't spark the excitement that an end game confrontation, powerful, mythical, as well, mythical planeswalker probably should. The story article is pretty cool. I love these little metaphysical meanderings through the minds of planeswalkers as they come to terms with some new power set or new ability. In this case, Wrenn connecting to the most powerful tree in the multiverse. I thought the story was good and the card is reasonable. I just think it's a little bit lackluster when you compare the two. But what do you think? Do you think I'm being too harsh to Wrenn and the Realmbreaker? Well, let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget, if you're looking to pre-order some singles from March of the Machines, use the link in the description below. Get 5% off your order over at coolstuffinc.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.